Good morning and welcome to Convocation. We will begin in 5 minutes. Please take your seat. It was? Good morning and welcome to Convocation. We will begin in a few minutes. Please take your seat. Welcome, everyone, to the start of SLCC's 2024-2025 academic year. We're glad you're here. Please direct your attention to the screen for a video introduction of our new president, Dr. Gregory Peterson.
Welcome back, And it is a good day to be back, folks. Another year, the sun is shining, and all eyes are fixed on this year's first-round pick. Out of Arizona, with a history in cross-institutional work, Dr. Gregory Peterson, the Doc. I love that. Everyone's got to have a nickname. I just coined it. The Doc is in the house, folks. Now that's a meeting I'd make. Sign me up.
It's Greg. Just call me Greg.
And there's that humility, Brutus. Another reason that this is such a solid first-round pick for Salt Lake Community College. For a guy who's impacted over 100,000 students, he still makes it all about the team. You said it, Brutus.
So, are you guys gonna be here all day?
Oh, Doctor, you can hang a star on that. Oh, look at him handle that hot one! Dare I say, un fuego! Oh, you said it, Brutus. There's that award-winning commentary. Mama, there goes that man. No hocus pocus, just focus from President Peterson, and you gotta love it, baby. And boom goes the dynamite. Boom. I'm telling you, folks, we have got a multi-dose of clutch this season at Salt Lake Community College. I mean, with first-round talent like Abby McNulty, Brett Perozzi, Tim Sheehan, Chris Martin, Lionel Nieto, and Jason Pickavant. You said it. We really do have a dream team shaping up here that's going to push the institutional needle.
Is this like a new communication strategy?
You learn to ignore him.
And there's Pickavants once again with the ignore defense, folks. I tell you what, that's going to drive a coach crazy.
I see.
And we're back.
Now, please give a warm welcome to SLCC Assistant Professor of Journalism and Digital Media, Rachel Aubrey, Globe Editor-in-Chief, Ashley Orduna, and SLCC President, Greg Peterson.
Good morning, Dr. Peterson. Welcome to Convocation at Salt Lake Community College. After that great and enthusiastic video introduction, we're all excited to learn more about you and your thoughts, how we can work together to make SLCC the best it can be. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So back in April, when you were announced as the new president of Salt Lake Community College, you said that you, quote, fell in love with SLCC. What was it that you saw, what was it that you experienced that caused you to feel that way?
Well, it's an amazing institution. So I was able to see all the different campuses, and we have stellar facilities and grounds, and really a shout out to our teams who just keep our spaces amazing. However, at the end of the day, we're a people organization, and so really our people make us who we are. And I was smitten by the commitment to students, the passion for the work that we do for the mission of community college, and the impact that Salt Lake Community College has here in Utah. It's inspiring.
Well, now that you've been able to make a home here and you've started to make yourself comfortable here, how has that changed for you? What else has your thoughts evolved into, and what's your take now on the college?
So it's the nicest place I've ever been, which I love. Thank you all. When I first got the job, they announced it, and I went out and I thought I was like on a talk show and I had won something, like there was a car or something, like the level of energy. And then I went home and it was quiet for 30 days, and I thought, did I dream this? It was so exciting. And I just feel that same energy as I've been able to be on campus and learn and listen. There's so much more in my mini 50 days of knowledge, right, there's so much more to learn and listen. So I'm really excited to learn, to hear across the campuses, but still really feeling that passion, that commitment. We are a really good institution. We're solid, we're healthy, and we're making an impact. I don't think we realize the breadth of impact that this institution makes.
Okay, thank you for that. You've worked in higher ed for many years, and the public's view on attending college has changed quite a bit throughout the years. And with many questions on the value of education, what would you say to those who aren't sold on the relevance of attending higher education?
So I think first of all, the conversation around higher education and the lack of confidence is complicated. There's greater confidence in community colleges than there are other institutions of higher ed. What students are really talking about now is different. There are 4 things they're looking for in coming to college. So it has to be relevant. Right? So no longer do we just say go to college for a better life. Our students want to know exactly what that means. And for students, they're thinking about a better life is linked to a career. So they're trying to figure out what they're going to be able to do when they leave us. They're worried about time. So no longer do students think in 2-year or 4-year degrees. They're thinking much sooner. So we have to help them understand progress and how they make progress along the way in our programs. Cost, we know the larger conversation around debt and just the cost of higher education. I really want to applaud Salt Lake Community College for the work we've done in that space. I think we've done really great efforts in making sure that we stay affordable, and they're helping students be able to achieve. And then the final is completion. So our students really want to know that they'll be able to finish their goal, be able to move forward. As a institution, again, as I said, we've done a really good job in the cost area, and I think that we just need to be more thoughtful of how do we talk to our students about relevance, about time, and about completion.
Dr. Peterson, as you know, SLCC recently made changes to comply with HB 261. With these changes, many are still uncertain about how welcome some students will feel here on campus. What do you think belonging at SLCC looks like post HB 261?
So the first thing I want to say is that our mission has not changed, and our commitment to all of our students being successful in our communities remains the same. And that's in alignment with HB 261. We will continue being the college of our communities here. That's really important, and we will continue to champion that we are the place for all of our students to be able to find a space where they're safe, where they're valued, and where they're academically challenged. That's what's core to Salt Lake Community College. Yeah. I think that said, in all honesty, these past few years, in general, higher education has probably spent a little too much time talking the talk and not spending enough time walking the walk. And there's a lot of things we can do to impact that student experience. As we think about the amazing things we do in pockets for students, how do we create a default experience for students that we would want those that we love that come to this institution to have? So how do we have more students who really get the best of us when they're with us? I think that translates into, we're going to talk a lot about belonging. And as we were talking about belonging, that this idea of authentic connection and that purpose. So our students have a clear purpose. The majority of our students are part-time, which means they have other identities. Student is not their primary identity. And so when life happens, how do we help keep them connected in? How do we help them see that they're connected, that they belong, and that they have purpose in what they're doing in their classes and their program so that they continue on?
I like that authentic connection. I like that you said that.
And you know, you've experienced that as a faculty member with your students, and I hope, Ash, that you've experienced that here in your classes as well.
Definitely, definitely.
We've seen in the media and reporting about how some higher ed institutions have cut centers or groups that are related to race, gender, sexuality, ethnicity, or some other identifying factor. Do we plan to do this here at Salt Lake Community College?
So how we're approaching this, and I'm going to apologize because I'm trying to memorize my acronyms. So many acronyms. So first, the main crux of HB 261 was to separate out our celebration, awareness, educational aspects of supporting students with identity characteristics from our direct support services. And so how we're approaching that is we will continue in all of the celebration, in our awareness, our educational aspects. We have the Thane Center, which has a lot of resources and does great work there, so we're gonna leverage that strength in the Thane Center. We were able to bring a small group together over the summer around the Gender and Sexuality Student Resource Center, GSSRC. And they, through some recommendations, we've decided we're going to keep the GSSRC one of those cultural awareness centers and have it live underneath that umbrella of the Thane Center. Then we will continue all of our student supports services. So the Office of Multicultural and Diversity, Office of Diversity and Multicultural Affairs. What's that word? I know, okay. 4 letters, all right. So we're transitioning that to the Student Engagement Experience Achievement, SEA. Okay, that's as good as I get, I'm sorry. But the idea is that then the SEA will then directly provide support for all first-generation students, all students who are undecided on their major program, students who have been part of the foster care system, and then any student who is struggling academically, so that we're still going to provide those structures to support. You know, one of the things we've learned is that through our centers, we've learned about strategies about how do we create that sense of belonging, how do we help students be successful, and we can take that learning and apply it more broadly to more student experiences.
Okay, perfect. So following up with that, throughout the years of offering these programs that support these marginalized communities, what do you think SLIC has learned that can continue offering support and and improve the student experience?
So I think that one of the things that I'm learning as I interact on campus is really the amount of connection that our faculty and staff have directly with students. And that's that authentic connection piece. So, and we can do that in the classroom, we can do that across campus. There's lots of opportunities for us to have that individual contact with a student. That matters more than I think we realize. We've learned that universal approaches. So what works for students who have the greatest need also works for students who have less need. So how do we build in ways that everyone can benefit from, understanding where that greater need is? So I think there's lots of learning. What I've learned about Salt Lake Community College is that we are doing a lot of amazing things that if we can figure out how to expand them, create them, again, in that default experience for students, we'll see really the breadth of the impact we can have.
Perfect. Thank you. That was amazing. I loved that. Okay, well, now let's switch gears. Our time's short, so we're done pressing questions now. So let's move on to what is something interesting or surprising that we may not find on your resume?
Okay, I prepped for this, ready? So, in that vein of taking care of students, I hope all of our students have this experience. So here we go. Here's my hobby. Have you ever felt like you were all alone? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll bring you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
My goodness. I'm getting emotional. My goodness.
I'm still keeping my day job.
My.
Wow, thank you for that. That was amazing. You have a great voice. It almost had me tearing up.
Me too. Me too.
Okay, well, thank you.
We should just stop there.
Grand finale, that was it. Okay, well, as we launch into the academic school year, what do you want faculty and staff to take away, and what piece of advice do you want to leave with us?
So I think, I hope we encourage our students to be the best of themselves. And so I encourage all of our faculty and staff to be the best of yourselves, to love yourself, to value what you bring, and to thrive in that space. Because that's what is changing our communities. That's what's changing lives, what you bring. Continue focusing on students. Please know that we're here to support you to be successful. I am so excited, and the team that I have, we're going to talk a lot about changing dynamics to more empower you in the work that you do as we work together, that we're in this together. So I hope that as we start in this amazing new semester, that you feel that support, that you just strive to be the best you can be in lifting students' lives. Thank you for choosing to be at Salt Lake Community College. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think that's all the time we have for today, but thank you, and we are looking forward to the new school year with you and to undergo your leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Ready to go? Please welcome to the stage SLCC's interim provost, Dr. Jason Pickavance.
I was going to read my remarks, but I'm thinking about singing them. I don't know, just... Okay, that's not going to happen. I'm going to read them. Oh, I have my little thing here. All right, let's get moving. So, welcome. Events, I think like Convocation, can serve to remind us why we chose careers at the community college, and they hopefully will motivate our work for the coming year. I know I was motivated by the interview with the president, and just motivated so far, I'll say, by my cabinet colleagues, by all of you, and by working with the new president. I'm a first-generation community college student, and what originally inspired me to work at Salt Lake Community College was my own experience as an undecided student who found direction and purpose at Green River Community College in Washington State, where I grew up. One of the underappreciated facts of Salt Lake Community College is that many of you were also community college students. And an even more underappreciated fact is that a surprising number of you are graduates of this college. These, I call them the ultimate completers. I guess the ultimate retention, right? You just, individual who graduate, then come back. We should get some kind of Lionel dual, some kind of extra, I want a dashboard on this. I can reel off a lot of names. I'm gonna stick with 3. Our past Senate President, Adam Dastrup, who actually majored in photography before moving into the geosciences. Our Associate Dean of Mathematics, Ron McKay, who I think, as I recall, for a good chunk of his 20s was a climber and then decided he wanted to go back to school and took a math course from his now colleague, Professor Joe Gallegos. And our own trustee, Dr. Tashelle Wright, is a graduate. Like me, your experience as community college students motivated you to become part of the community college movement. At last week's new faculty orientation, I read a statement, it's one of my favorite, from the American Association of Community Colleges. It says, community colleges are centers of educational opportunity. They're inclusive institutions that welcome all who desire to learn, regardless of wealth, heritage, or previous academic experience. It is a simple but powerful statement that should remind us that open access higher education continues to be a radical proposition. We're in an exciting time at the college. We have a new president and an opportunity to forge a new strategic direction, and we have a very clear charge from the Board of Trustees and the Board of Higher Ed to increase enrollment, complete students, and ensure those students thrive after leaving Salt Lake Community College. The Board of Trustees and Executive Cabinet has adopted a vision matrix that you see here as an initial sprint to deliver on this charge. The vision matrix will be worked on this fall and be ready by the start of spring semester. You'll see that the matrix includes the high-level themes of engage, complete, and thrive, and that those themes correspond to 3 strategic objectives: enroll and retain more Salt Lake County residents, increase timely certificate and degree completion leading to transfer and meaningful employment, and increase each student's return on investment. Those objectives will be further developed to include major targets and goals. Given the urgency of the charge from the board, the trustees recently adopted the strategic objectives you see here. Next, it'll be the college community's turn to fill in this matrix. Cabinet has formed an internal college advisory group with broad representation across different areas of SLCC, and that group will draft 3 to 5 goals for each of the objectives. The trustees will then select and approve 1 or at most 2 for each objective, so that we're going to land around 3 to 6. The broader college community will then, in subsequent weeks, have the opportunity to draft strategies to achieve those goals. And all of this work in the vision matrix will ultimately set the stage for a new strategic plan in 2026. Let me just say I'm encouraged by the insistence from our new president and from cabinet on focus. 3 to 6, not 20 goals, if you recall some past strategic plans. And the message that SLCC identify what is really core to its mission. This fall, we're going to have a mid-cycle visit on October 25th and 26th. Peer evaluators from Northwest will visit the college for a mid-cycle evaluation. For those who don't know, a mid-cycle is a formative evaluation designed to prepare the college to be successful for a year 7 visit. Evaluators will focus on Standard 1, mission fulfillment, student learning, and student achievement. And they'll also evaluate our progress on outstanding recommendations from our previous year 7 visit. Dr. Jesse Wininski-Stevens has done tremendous work putting together a mid-cycle self-evaluation that draws an honest portrait of where we have made progress and where we have work left to do. Please put these dates in your calendar and make yourself available. Mid-cycles shouldn't make us nervous. They're about us being better. So we want people to be honest and open and available. The more participation we get in the mid-cycle, the better we're prepared for that year 7 visit, and the better institution we are. Some professional development opportunities and events for the year. So these are kind of the signature professional development events for the year, one in the fall, one in the spring. So this fall, on October 10th and 11th, Jillian Kinsey will come to the college to discuss her co-edited volume, Radical Reimagining for Student Success. Her 2-day visit will provide us an opportunity to engage some of the latest literature on college and student success. And I believe both faculty and staff development are ordering copies, so if you're interested in participating in a learning community or just reading the book on your own, we are going to try to make copies of that book available. And then in the spring, Edward Watson from the American Association of Community Colleges and Universities will come on March 21st to discuss his book, Teaching with AI. And AI, I think, as I kind of talk to folks, continues to be a source of excitement and anxiety. So, I'm personally looking forward to hearing what the author has to say about engaging students through AI. We also, I'll say, have a group led by Darren Jensen in the English department that's participating in an AACU AI Institute pretty soon here, I think in September. So I think that group will also have a lot of interesting things to come back and report to the college. Some kind of college community events through the year. The Humanities Department is reviving its Big Questions Forum. The forum will explore the issue, yes, there we go, some claps for, it's great. The forum will explore the issue of contested spaces. The 2-day event will bring a virtual reality experience to campus so that students can experience firsthand what it feels like to inhabit a contested space. The event will culminate in a keynote by Pulitzer Prize winning author of The Sympathizer, Viet Nguyen, on the evening of September 25th in the Grand Theater. And let me just say a shout out to Sahar Al-Shubaki, assistant professor in the humanities, for getting this speaker to come. It's such a good get. As somebody, I'm from English, literature is my background, this is a big deal to get somebody, and she just went up to him and said, "You want to come to SLCC?" I think that's so cool, so well done. And then later, our SLCC Forum on Social Ethics will feature Frances Haugen on November 5th in the Grand Theater, and she's the author of The Power of One, How I Found the Strength to Tell the Truth, and Why I Blew the Whistle on Facebook. And then in the spring, you can expect 2 more signature events, a Business Leaders Forum event hosted by the Gail Miller School of Business, and then the Judge Michael Wei Kwan Lecture on Justice and Equity sponsored by the Clifton G. Sanders Institute. Yeah, go ahead. Just a heads up on some town halls and forums. So President Peterson will hold a series of town halls throughout September at the Jordan, South, and Taylorsville campuses. I'm sure it's not limited to that, but those are the initial. And then like last year, I'm gonna go for 2 provost forums per semester. This fall I'll be at Taylorsville and at West Point. And both the town halls and the forums are part of an ongoing effort by executive leadership to be available and accountable to the college community. And Brett Perazzi, VP Brett Perazzi, VP Chris Martin, and myself attended the Faculty and Staff Association forum this morning and voiced similar themes, talked about communication and transparency and how we can do that better. And I think that conversation went well. For those of you who work with me, I love congratulating people. And I do it in my emails, and I wanted to do it here. I think it's worth taking time to recognize individual and team excellence at our college. And I could spend the rest of my time here and probably the rest of the day enumerating all of the different achievements of faculty and staff at this institution. We really do. I think the president rightly recognizes that we have amazing people doing amazing things. So I'm going to limit myself to 2 for now. First, Robert Adamson, professor of visual art and design. Yeah. And if you haven't seen his paintings, you can see them on our campuses. The Science, Math, Engineering building has one as you sort of go up the stairs. His painting, Morning Rise, was awarded the Ms. Jane Van Meter Award of Excellence by the Oil Painters of America. And throughout his career, Professor Adamson has garnered statewide and national recognition for his artistic talent. We have a great visual art and design program. Really amazing faculty, and Professor Adamson's one of them. Professor Adamson's also a graduate of Salt Lake Community College. So, yeah. Next, let me congratulate Nate Thomas, Dashika Kwenye, and Philip Howland. The American College, I'll let the clap, go for it. Let it out. The American College of Sports Medicine recognized SLCC's Exercise is Medicine program for creating a culture of wellness on campus. Exercise is Medicine is a collaboration between the Center of Health and Counseling and the Exercise Science Department. The honor also marks another successful partnership between student and academic affairs. There we go. So I want to close by returning to this idea of a shared sense of mission. So many of you in this room have challenging and sometimes thankless jobs, and your work is probably not often enough recognized in the way that I just did here. We have, as we should, a Teaching Excellence Award. We don't have, to my knowledge, an Associate Dean Excellence Award or an Advisor of Distinction Award, nor do we currently offer an E-Treve Superstar Prize or the PARS Medal in Excellence. And I just want to say, if the E-Treve Prize were to be, I think I would have a good chance of winning that award, though I would probably have to approve the award in E-Treve, so I don't know. We nevertheless go on about our work in instruction, admissions, advising, registration, facilities, business operations, human resources, marketing, and on and on and on, all in the support of our students and their success. Higher ed reform has followed lately a certain script. Things aren't going well, we've lost our way, we need to improve by caring more, working harder, or following a specific formula for success. And lucky for us, there is always a new higher education reform movement on the horizon. Ready, like a fad diet or exercise program to make our college lean and shredded within weeks. What we're being asked to do this year is not adopt a fad higher education program. No student completion keto, no paleo pathways, but instead to rededicate ourselves to our mission and to focus on what we already do well. The president will ask us to really reflect on what is core and to focus our efforts and our resources where we are most effective in helping students engage, complete, and thrive. What draws us to the work of the community college is that core. I have felt that authentic dedication to our mission in so many interactions I've had at the college, and it is what drives my own work. And I think what I'm saying is relatively obvious, and it maybe lands only for the simple reason that it corresponds to your experience. Let me briefly return to my days as a student. It wasn't a national initiative or a new piece of technology that supported my success. It was an individual faculty member of extraordinary intelligence and care, Marjorie Questo, professor of English at Green River Community College, who was present and responsive to my writing, to my ideas, and just to me as an individual. I would not be here speaking to you today if it were not for her dedication to the community college mission. And each of you I know offers the same level of care and dedication to our students. As we approach the conclusion of this plenary and launch into a new academic year, it's a perfect time to remember the reason why we do the work we do, our students. They're extraordinary, and many overcoming great obstacles to join us at the college, and many more finding their life's work and purpose while attending. Let's take a moment to hear from our students about the difference SLCC makes in their lives by directing your attention to the screen.
I'm a queer kid. I'm a mom. I have a partner and a life.
I'm a woman of color, and I also have a disability.
I feel like I always have so many questions. I'm a person who's full of so many questions.
I want to do something that actually does a little bit more impact.
I was actually really hesitant to go to college, like all throughout high school.
It was funny, I was like, I want to take a gap year, and then I'll decide if I want to go to tech school or college or not go to anything at all.
I actually transferred here from Missouri, so I literally moved here like at the very beginning of the fall semester.
If I were to distill or simplify my experience into one word, that word will probably be
inclusion.
I think new is a big thing for me with my experience.
I think one word is hopeful.
Accepting.
Growth.
Belonging. Very accommodating.
Scary but exciting. Challenging but worth it.
It's feeling like I'm not a number, that I'm a person.
I'd say hopeful because it looks like this is a place where there's a lot of different perspectives.
The sense of community that's here.
It's new. I was so prepared for it to be more high school type of education, and it's so not.
And taking a bunch of classes and taking my time made me realize what I actually like to do.
And they have more than just been okay with the fact that I've said, hey, I have mental illness. Hey, I have autism. Hey, I have experience in the real world.
I think about it as somewhere that is opening doors for me.
I would hope that as students voice their opinions, that they would be taken into consideration to build and improve on what is here.
I think it's really important for professors to really care about students of different types.
Listen to what I need. Listen to what my struggles are.
If we are talking about college bettering our society, we have to be able to discuss our society in college. You can't just ignore that.
Understand that your older students might need a little bit more guidance.
Yeah, make us feel like we're important and like we're wanted at Salt Lake Community College.
Because I'm sure as a professor, you want them to succeed. You want them to hear what you're saying. And I think that helping them do that is by making that safe space where they feel like they can achieve their dreams.
This is my community college.
This is your community college.
And this is our community college.
Going to the bloopers.
One more time. What was that?
They made me follow the students. Isn't it wonderful to hear from our students? And I know many of you get to hear from students every day in your roles, and I'm jealous of that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here at Convocation. It is a little different this year. I'm so glad for the energy. I'm so glad for those who brought this vision together. Thank you for being here and making this start so amazing. I mentioned that my welcome to Salt Lake Community College was so warm, and I want to extend that to all of the other new faculty and staff who are at their first convocation with me. You're my peeps. Stand up so we can celebrate. I appreciate that there may be one person who stood up who knows less than me. It's possible. As you saw and heard from our students, we make a huge difference in their lives. It matters that they're here at Salt Lake Community College. I loved listening to the words when they were asked, how would you describe the experience? And I loved some of the words that came up: hopeful, community, belonging, new, growth. Those are the types of words that we hope our students describe us with. Today on campus, we're so excited. We've invited 5 talented artists to create chalk art graffiti at several locations. And we asked the artists to be inspired by our video and take the words that our students used. And we hope that you'll have time to reflect and look at this art, and that it will prompt you to think about, as we enter this new semester, these words and what they mean to us, and how we can continue to grow and build on them. I really appreciate Dr. Pickavans and his words. As we talk about how we want to lead, how we want to engage you as a broader college community in this work, I hope that we can gain your trust and that we can build on our strengths, that we can focus and continue to do what we do amazingly. I really appreciate Dr. Pickavans' comments about our role. I'm thinking about the amazing celebration of individuals that we do. I think you're right that we could spend all day talking about the amazing people here at SLCC. We do not need an E-Treve award. I've been here long enough to know that. You know, as we round up this morning's event, again, I want to encourage you to take a moment. And I know many of you are thinking, that's great, Greg. I've got 3 things I've got to get done. Right? So if you just take a moment and appreciate what you bring and the work that you do and what we together do for our communities, for our students, and set that as the base for how we move forward this amazing year. We've got some celebration today to get you going to jump in. So a few items. Starting at 11:30, PWC is hosting the Employee Extravaganza at the Student Center's West Patio. You do not want to miss it. Part of that's because it's time for lunch, so feel free to grab a meal at one of the 8 food trucks found outside. Whoever thought 8 was a good number, I mean, if you're going to be with me completely confused which one to choose, I'll stand with you. And then finally, the newest addition to Salt Lake Community College, the Alder Plaza, will officially open with a ribbon cutting today at 11:45. Many of you know the old Alder Amphitheater has been undergoing transformation for the last 10 months. This facility is now opening that will serve as a modern, vibrant hub for students to gather, for campus events. I've heard specifically that it can accommodate food trucks, which is very important to us. So I hope that I invite you to join us in that celebration today. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for all that you do. Go Bruins.